things will be working. Then I will be showing some of the typical circuit diagrams, block diagrams, because these circuit diagrams and the block diagrams, this will be helping you in order to accomplish your aim. Before doing something, like before going for any automation for the home appliance systems, we have to first go for that circuit diagram as well as for the block diagram, which will be detailed in the subsequent slides. I will be discussing some of the basic components, and these basic components will be almost applicable for all the type of home appliance automations which you can start with, and I will also be discussing some of the basic features of those things. Then IoT middleware. What is IoT middleware? I will also be discussing these things in details in that particular slide. The key advantages of that IoT in home appliances, some of the major challenges what the people are facing while implementing this IoT for the home appliances, and lessons for to remember. And obviously at the same time, I will share with you some of the scopes of work on IoT in smart home designs. So coming to the main point, if we think about the home, what are the things we need to make automated? Like there are several aspects, there are several features of a home, starting from the safety purposes, its security purposes, then we'll be having the convenience or the luxurious purposes. So at the same time, the things should be done in such a way that this should be user friendly. Like what about the system? Sometimes we see say we have bought one good smartphone, and we give it to our elders, maybe to our grandfathers somewhere or somebody else. And if they are not able to understand, they are not able to use that phone, then what is the use of that phone? So that's why while we will be doing these things, this should be user friendly. Like this can be used, or this can be accessed. This can be accessed by anybody else, even without much expertise in this field. That is the main another part that is called as the user's interface. Anyway, coming to the different mechanical components, we will be having the different appliances, starting from the refrigerator. We'll be having the air conditioner, then the washing machine, all these things which will be coming under the mechanical device. All these things definitely will be coming under control appliances. Then controlling of the lights. Smartphone alerts is different thing. Like in that block diagram, we will be seeing it. What are the function of the smartphone? Nowadays, smartphone is very that is the main thing based on which everything or every directions are being decided. Like to control the things, to observe the things, to monitor the things. Smartphone is one of the important devices apart from the laptop or computer. That smartphone always that will be with you. Then it definitely it's about the energy management. When we think about the automation of the home appliances, it comes basically few components. We'll also be discussing in these things in details. So out of those things, that is the energy management. We are utilizing the energy wisely. We are thinking, or we are keeping we are doing it in such a way that the energy consumption will be optimized. We will not be wasting the energy. Let me give you a very small example for that. You might have heard about the filling of the filling tanks. So while you start the pump, sometimes you will see if you do not have any indicator, so some water will be coming out from that tank while it is being filled up, then that is the wasted part. But nowadays, if you see, there is a small alarm which can be attached using some wire which is kept just at the top level of the water tank. So while the tank will be filled up and that end of the wire will be touching the water surface, automatically alarm hearing that alarm, you can easily switch it on. Though it's not a complete automation, it is there to need the manual intervention. Still, we can think it is a step of the, like it's a step towards the automation. So similarly, in that way, we can save energy in various ways by imposing automation, or like fully automation or semi-automation. So a home that will be consisting of the different features, the entry of the key, motion detector, if somebody or something is coming, unwanted thing is coming in front of your home, how to detect that one. Sometimes nowadays you'll be seeing, like while we will be having that CCTV camera, CCTV camera, closed circuit camera, there will be seeing the options will be there. It will not be recording continuously. Whenever something that will be moving in front of it, the recording will start. So these are the part, or these are the different components, and these will go on developing with this, which will take us towards the development of a smart home. Then the temperature control. Suppose, for example, in summer season, you are not at home, you are coming to your home. So obviously, if you enter into that room, the room generally will remain very hot. So what to do? You need, all these things are based on the needs of the users. Being the users of the home, being the residents of the home, you will be desiring to have a comfortable temperature while entering into the room. Maybe you are coming through a car which I mean inside which you have available the AC air conditioner. But at the time when you will be entering to your room, obviously you will not be feeling comfortable unless and until the temperature is not within that comfortable zone. And that can only be possible by the air conditioner. And if you start the air conditioner, the room will not become like cool immediately. You have to wait for some time. So can we do it sometime, like can you do at a time, can you start the AC before reaching to the home? Yes, nowadays we are having those smart air conditioners. Correct? So this is, I'm not talking about only one AC. So our aim here is to give you an overview how to manage all the things at a time, not only the air conditioner. It is not only the associated with the air conditioner, as well as it will be associated with the other devices which are the basic needs of a home. So definitely we will be requiring the temperature control, and this alarm control, definitely those are the different, like those are the integral part of that smart home. So in the next slide, this is similar to the previous one. However, here there are some other things are added over there. For example, we will be having that mobile or the tablet through which we can control. We can have the television, we can have the PC. So you can see, while we have considered, we have considered these things for the smartphone. Sorry, that the smart home. You see, these things should be accessed by some devices, and these devices may be the mobile, this may be tablet, or this may be a PC, or even it may be a computer which is kept like a huge distance away from your home. So nowadays you'll be seeing we are having like remote control type of things. I can control my like computer sitting at anywhere. Even nowadays, international space station that is having a good speed of internet. So sitting at there, you can also access all the computer. If you have that connection, if you have that permission to connect remotely, you can do the things very well. Correct? So starting from the weather, you will be having the different features associated with a smart home. Typically here in this part of the lecture, we will be considering the features which are mostly related to the mechanical components. Correct? Like we will be having the car. So This card is given only to show you, like say for example, there are certain things you have to keep in mind. What about the objective? Like whether you are more concerned to keep an eye on the car. That means whether you are more concerned about the safety of the car. That is one thing. Another thing is the convenience. Suppose, for example, you have a garage. You are coming from like somewhere. So what you do? If you want to park your car inside the garage, you have to stop the car. You have to stop the car. You have to open that door. Maybe I don't know, like depending upon that type of door, you have to open that car automatically or manually. But is it possible to integrate the controller of that car if it's the door of the if the door of the garage is can it is automatically be controlled? Is it possible to connect the controller to the mobile? Can you control the opening and the closing of that garage gate automatically by your mobile, so that you don't have to like stop the car automatically while you are coming in front of the garage? You open the gate of the garage and just park the car and come out from there. So these type of things obviously are the future of the mechanical engineers. So here in this case, and additionally obviously we'll be having something to manage the data. Sometimes we need to store the data, sometimes we need to analyze the data. So for the storing of the data, nowadays we'll be having that cloud part. But if someday, like you might have heard about that term cloud, correct? So like we will be having some central unit or central some unit in which we can store the data, we can access those data from anywhere else. It's like that Dropbox. Some of you might have used or you have been using Dropbox. So you know, wherever you are, if you want to need a file which has been kept in Dropbox, you can access that file at anywhere. Even like nowadays when we just travel, if I need to send a file to my student or somebody else, generally what you do, it's not possible for me to carry the laptop every time with me. So just using the mobile, I access my Dropbox folder and from there I just open it. So these are the different parts you have to keep in mind from the basic needs of the users. So as per the smart home is concerned, these are the some typical things you have to keep in mind. Like for example, say during at night you want to like switch up the lamp. Now nowadays the concept of having bed switches, that is there is no such options nowadays. Like in fact, if you have some weird thing and a switch attached to your bed, it will not look good. It deteriorates the beautifications of the room. So what you need definitely the basic need is that while you are going to the bed, you need to switch off the light. So being inside that bed or being on the bed, is it possible? Yes, the mobile will be in your like reachable region. So you can. Is it possible to tag that light? Yes, nowadays you are having those smart lights, which even do not have to be controlled using that Wi-Fi or something. You can easily control it using the Bluetooth. Correct? But being at home, that is possible because Bluetooth is having some some range within which you have to operate. However, if you go for that long distance path, like say for example, you are quite away from your home, you are having the camera. Now that camera obviously will be sending you good picture only when you are having good light. So obviously you will not be allowing the light to to be on for long time throughout the time. So during the time while you need to take the picture for us for an given interval or for a specific instant, what you do? You switch on the light, you take the photo, you ask your camera to send to your mobile or laptop while being away from your home. That is the thing. Then you switch off your light. Correct? Because all the things are being done not only for the convenience of the users, not only for the easiness of the users, comfortability of the users, as well as to manage the energy. You are about to like you are about to manage, you are about to optimize the energy. Sometimes you will be seeing, while not being at our residence for long time, for long days, what we do, the front light we keep it on. Why? Because we want to make it confirm that during that night, the front part, the frontal part or the front portion of our home should not remain dark. So in that case, you will you will experience that the light is kept on throughout the day and night. So what you are doing during the daytime, there is no necessity, absolutely there is no necessity of the light to be on. So as per the present condition, there is no such options to switch off that light. Obviously, if, unless and until there is an human intervention. Correct? So is it possible? Yes, it is possible using this IoT part. If we can do it like that, obviously we can have that, like we can switch it off at the daytime, we can switch it on at the night time. You will be even seeing in the roadside lamps, those lamp posts, the lights, nowadays there is no such manual intervention. In previous days, you will find out there are some people, or they work under that municipality or under some government. They used to switch it on at the evening and switch it off at the morning. But nowadays that's not required. There is some timer. You can put the timer. That is one thing, and that timer, even that is not so much accurate, because that in timer you will be fixing the time. Maybe you are fixing the time for the light to be on at 5 p.m. and maybe you are asking the timer to stop the light at say 5 a.m. in the morning. But it may happen during the summer season that the sunlight is still there till 7 p.m. Right? So instead of considering that type of timer, why don't we use the light sensors? You add the light sensors with that, depending upon the amount, intensity of the light available during that time. The lamppost light, the post lights, they will automatically be switched on and switched back on. So these type of things are very important nowadays in order to save the energy, in order to make our job easy. Correct? So what are the demands? The increasing demand of smart homes where appliances can be controlled and monitored, and also data can be controlled. What does it mean? Like, we'll not be having a single appliance. It's not like that you are considering a smart home with a single appliance that has been automated. A complete smart home will be consisting of all the appliances which can be controlled as per the needs of the users from anywhere else. That is the complete automation or complete smart home. And obviously, appliance means it's not like that. For example, say you are having a water heater, correct? And there is no need to make it automated while being like outside of your home. So obviously you should not do that one. However, the appliances, as per the needs, like the air conditioner, sometimes the lights, whatever the examples I've given, the gate of the gate of the garages, all these things, there are others also, depending upon the requirement of the users. And these requirements definitely will be varying from users to users. Suppose instead of a home, you are considering an office. So whatever the needs will be there in respect to that office, they may not match with the needs for the home appliances. So you have to keep that part in mind. We will also be discussing these things while going through these topics. So increasing demands of smart homes where appliances can be controlled and monitored and also data can be controlled. Now, you will also be seeing the trends. Like if you go back 10 years back, if you go back 10 years back, like 10 years, you'll be seeing like in domestic appliances, most of the like the availability of the appliances what we have nowadays, the light which can be controlled by the Bluetooth, that was not there 10 years back, but nowadays we have. So it is not only the needs, also we have to see the feasibility. Nowadays we have the smartphone with us. So exploiting that smartphone, obviously we can think about the implementation of those things. Nowadays, even in that point of care diagnostic systems, we can have the diagnostic at very remote places using the smartphones. Nowadays, even you'll be seeing that if you want to measure the sugar level of the blood, you don't require a device. Simply a USB type or micro USB type of device is there, which can be attached with the mobile. You'll be having the software which will be installed through the app of the mobile or app store of the mobile. Then you can easily put a drop of your blood at the end of the sensor to measure the blood sugar. So while having more options, at the same time the feasibility will become more. The feasibility of implementation that will become. So this will be going on side by side. Like even if you have the needs, if you don't have the computer, if you don't have the mobile, then obviously your needs will not be fulfilled. As the mobile is there, then only you can think about the fulfillment of those needs. Next, the appliances can be remotely controlled using web interface mobile applications. Correct? These are the demands. We want the appliances or the home components to be controlled remotely, either using web interface or mobile application. Like as I've already mentioned, like you can control using your laptop or desktop or even using your mobile. Home automation provides energy conservation, security systems. This is very important nowadays. So why nowadays like almost all the family you'll be seeing the nuclear family. Correct? Previously, like in previous days, you would find out, like joint family, even a bunch like some of the family members, if they used to go to attend some ceremony, marriage ceremony or some like other ceremony, at least there used to be some of the resident to remain in their in the home. So that was the case. But nowadays, while you'll be going or the family or the full family goes to attend some ceremony, obviously it is a matter of security in many cases. So obviously, if you have that part with you, this smart home facility, which can be controlled remotely, obviously, it will be giving you some mental peace. Obviously, mental peace. So home appliances provides not only the mental peace, the security system, as well as the energy conservation. It obviously will be saving, at the same time it will be saving some of the energy, like the wastage of energy, that will not be that is definitely will be within the limit, or will be reducing the wastage of the energy. Home automation provides user comforts and convenience. Obviously, like it's all about the comfort. You're coming after a long drive, you need to take rest. So if the room is hot, obviously it's not comfort. So even if you think from the perspective of a car, say suppose your car has been parked under the sunlight, obviously it will be hot condition and sunlight. So while you will be availing your car, is it possible to start the engine remotely and start the AC remotely? Yes, there are some options using your mobile app nowadays with some cars. by which you can perform that operation. Correct? Anyway, so home automation provides user comforts and convenience, obviously. Another thing which is missing over here, that is the easiness of the use. It should be users friendly. The GUI, the graphics users interface should be very low, like that level should be in such a way that it can be accessed by anybody else without having even much more experience. You'll find someday, like sometimes when we visit some of the top hotels, like I remember in my long back, I used to, like when I visited some of the one hotel, so I tried to take the water from the basin in the bathroom. I was unable to do that one because I during that time I was not acquainted with that type of sensor. So later on, what I did, I followed what the other people were doing. So they were just putting their hand in front of that tap, and the water used to come automatically. Correct? So these automations, like automation is fine, but you have to think also from that user's point of view, whether that is very easy to use or not. That is also very important. Correct? So that part definitely should be kept in mind while you are thinking of implementing something. Correct? Even if you think that there are some companies, there are some organizations who make this smart home, who prepare these smart homes, they uses several algorithms, they uses several controller type of things, but there may be the lacks in that part also. So you don't think, even though there are different organizations who are making this home automation, you don't have the scope. You don't think that you don't have the scope to add something in that part. So this could be another part. Like the things like the challenges are everywhere. It is not in the implementation part. It is not in the technology part. At the same time, it should be users friendly. Anyway, so the challenges, as per the challenges are concerned, it has challenges like security and data governance. Security and data governance. One thing you have to keep in mind, while we are thinking to control everything being at remote place, being away from my phone. So what we are doing? We are like the security may be compromised, just like you'll be hearing in news that someone's bank account that has been hacked. Why? Because you can access the bank account. Even what we do during that online banking, we access our bank remotely sitting at home, even using the mobile phone. So it's all about the transfer of the data. So data encryption is very important. So that data encryption, on you don't have any control on that data encryption. Whatever the data that is coming from home to your part or your side or vice versa, you don't have any control on that part. You don't have any control on the encryption of the data. It depends upon the internet you are using. It depends upon the software you are using. Sometimes you see like Reddit mail can be hacked, but Gmail cannot be hacked. There are two-step variation, two steps verification in Gmail, but there is no such verification in Reddit that can be hacked. Correct? So these things definitely you have to keep in mind while you are implementing something. It is not only the simple implementation from the technological part. At the same time, the security part is also very important. You might have done it very well as per the technology part is concerned, but if there is a lack of security, obviously what will happen? Everything will be lost. Like nothing will be working. So at the same time, like you'll be doing everything for that small mistake. So though these are some small things, but these are very important things as a part of that smart home creation. So it has challenges like security and data governance. Data governance is like where to keep the data. Like for example, say you want to manage whatever going on in front of your home. You have the CCTV camera. You can capture the video. To analyze that video, it's not possible to analyze manually. Correct. Sometimes nowadays you'll be seeing like while crossing the signal, like if the signal becomes red, if you cross it wrongly, even maybe after 1 or 2 seconds, you'll be getting the fines. Like the fine will come in your account automatically by the transport department. They have camera fit over there. It's not the case that they continuously monitoring manually. It's not possible to monitor all these signal points. Even if you consider a small city like in Allahabad, being at Allahabad, there will be more than 100 number of points, junctions where the cameras are fitted. And while the pictures are being taken, in situ pictures are being taken, it's the software. There is some software. Obviously, it will be deciding which of the app reached that. And accordingly, that file will be generated and it will be sent to the respective owners. Correct. So to do these things, to analyze this data, obviously the data governance part is very important. So you cannot do it manually. You have to take help of a good software or for the data analysis. So the challenges comes here in the security part, another part is the data governance. And at the same time, sometimes we seeing that either when sometimes we feel like while we give the data to like we put the data in some website, we always be in doubt whether our data is in good hand or they will be circulated to third party. While writing something in banks like bank slip, you'll be seeing like nowadays you'll be getting a lot of like spam phone calls. How do they get your phone number? You didn't give to them, so they buy this data from different parties. So while you are putting this data, how much secure your data is, even if you are using a cloud system to store your data continuously in situ so that you can access it continuously being away from the room, how secure the data are kept with them. That is very challenging part. You don't have the control on that part. You have to be very cautious about those things. Anyway, the companies are concerned that they will connect their physical environment to the cloud or data center. This is one of the other challenges what I was talking about. Companies are concerned that they will connect their physical environment to the cloud or data centers. Correct? And the other challenge is that the cost. If you go to any of the organizations who are dealing with this smartphone type of things, like this smart home type of things, the implementations of the smart home, they will be charging a lot. It is not that the actual charge is so much. It is the charge the company they are like taking based on the current technologies, based on the expenses which are being incurred by those companies. So being the engineer, obviously we will be having that option to develop the new ways of implementing the things with much more lower costs. I will be showing you some of the basic components based on which you can think about doing this type of like small research even using your BTech students. These are not so much costly. So moving in the next slide, these are the detailed part, like some of the typical features what we need to have in the smart home. Possible solution whereby a person can control the appliances, monitor and collect data from it. As we have been discussing, it is relevant to those things. Users convenience and comfort, and also since the user can monitor the data, the user can check their resource use. Correct? appliances like bulbs, tube lights, air conditioner, fan, geyser, or any electrical appliances. Suppose, for example, why I am talking about the geyser. Sometimes you'll be seeing in winter season, typically in winter season, like usually the temperature is very low. The ambient temperature is very low. So obviously, what you will be experiencing, the temperature of the water, what it is coming from your tank reservoir, that will also go. So to raise the temperature of that low temperature water in geyser, it will take a lot of time. It is all about that, like the delta T. Is as the delta T is very huge. Obviously, it will be taking. That's why we see it like in summer. It doesn't take that much of time. Like a geyser doesn't take that much of time to to provide the hot water. But in winter, it definitely will be taking a lot of time. So, say for example, I have 1 hour. Within this 1 hour, I have to take my bath. I will eat something, and I have to come back to my office. And that geyser, I cannot switch it on from the morning. If you do it for 24 hours, it will be continuously losing the heat. It will be starting again. So that is the wastage of the energy. So can we do it in that way? Like, can I start it while I am just leaving my office? Maybe I'll be reaching my home after 20 minutes. So can I start it being at office? So that once I reach, the geyser like will be giving me the hot water. Immediately I can go for the bath. So it will be saving my time as well as my energy. But it's any type of electrical appliances can be set to turn on and turn off, or can be used to do any other work. Any other work means, like for example, if you consider say an automatic vacuum cleaner, correct? Automatic vacuum cleaner. So you can stop it, you can start it, or you can even give it the instruction whether it will be cleaning your room or not. Correct? So suppose for example you are coming to your home after say 15 or 20 days. Obviously the dust will be there. So is it not necessary, like it's not necessary to clean that room every day while you are not inside that home? So just before the coming, is it possible to instruct that robotic vacuum cleaner to clean your room automatically? Yes, that is possible. Using this kind. So this type of things. That's why you can switch it on, you can turn off, or you can ask it, or you can use that part to do any other work which is obviously relevant to it. You cannot like ask that vacuum cleaner, robotic vacuum cleaner to prepare meal for you. It's not possible. Correct? It is definitely within the limited constants of that device. Full home control systems with apps and devices to control the entire home are becoming more prevalent. Obviously, you'll be seeing, as I was mentioning, like in previously we did not have that bulb which could be controlled using that Bluetooth, but nowadays we can control. Nowadays, like you'll be seeing, there is no such television without having remote. But in previous day, while I like during my childhood, or even I believe the childhood of you, or maximum of you might have seen the television without having any remote. You are having the switches, correct? Manual, mechanical switches. So nowadays the remote is everywhere. Even for the small televisions, the remotes are available. So this is one step towards the development of a smart home. Though we cannot say it's the smart home as per the present era, obviously, but at the same time we can say yes, we are moving towards that system. So with time, obviously, we will be requiring more such devices which can be controlled remotely. Correct? And it totally depends, as I mentioned, it totally depends upon our desire, our demand, at the same time the feasibility. As we have the smartphone, yes, that is feasible to control being everywhere. Even you, whenever you will be traveling, you will be having the smartphone along with you. visible, to control the things. You have the access of your home to some devices. You can have that access. So obviously the feasibility is there. Now your wish, at the same time, the time and the money you have to invest to implement those things. So full home control systems with apps and devices to control the entire home are becoming more prevalent. Use of microcontrollers for interfacing for use of microcontroller for interfacing to external circuits for authentication on app and website. Sorry. So this part obviously is very important in respect of the safety purposes. I should not say only the safety, it is all about the security purposes. Safety is one thing, safety is different thing. Like safety, what is safety? Suppose, for example, you have a room heater. You have a room heater or heat pump which you have fixed remotely, or you have started remotely to keep the room temperature or to increase the room temperature to a certain level. Now, if the temperature sensor does not work, what will happen? The temperature will go on increasing and there will be some issues. Like what is going on in case of that EV batteries, electrical vehicle batteries. That is due to the lack of availability of sensor, nothing else. Like I know the physical issues are there, obviously. At the same time, you have to keep in mind those blasting of the cells, those can be prevented. It can be prevented by using some sensors. If the sensors are put appropriately at each cell, if suddenly if the temperature of a particular cell exceeds the value, it will be indicated, like it will be indicated in your system. So at least you can save yourself. At least you can save that accident. So these type of things may occur. So obviously that is called as the safety part. It's not about the security. And what is security? The security is that unauthorized access of the things. You do not want someone to use your laptop. You have put the password. You do not want someone to access your phone. You have put the password. Those will be coming part of security. It's not about the safety. For the safety purposes, if you allow your mobile to fall down from a certain height, it should not break. If you put something in respect to that, it will be coming under the safety. If your mobile temperature increases beyond a certain level, it should stop working so that the temperature will not be going beyond that point. In no way. In order to prevent the blasting, the permanent damage in the phone. Those type of things will be coming under the safety part. And the security part is something different from that safety. So use of microcontroller for interfacing to external circuits for authentication on app and sorry, app and web server. Sometimes you'll be seeing, as per the security is concerned, you'll be seeing there is a app, IMAP, I think it's IMAP or something like that, which is used for the big complexes. Suppose somebody has come to visit your home, correct? So they will be asked by the security at the gate. So how do the security will be knowing whether they are the authorized person to make use? So obviously you have to approve that. There is some app, IMAP or some app is there. Using that part, obviously a message and indication will be going, that will go to your smartphone. You have to approve it. Yes, that person is authorized. Yes, I am giving the permission for that person, so that the person can be allowed to enter your complex. Then the responsibility will be coming to you. So anyway, so these type of things, the security part definitely are very important while you are considering towards the making of the smart homes. Correct? Suppose somebody has come at your home. Correct? They will be ringing the bell. At the same time, if you have the face detector, I mean, if you have the face detector, and if in your controller there are some predefined faces, if they come, obviously the door will be opening automatically. Correct? Those type of smart things, those can be done in respect of that security purpose. But still, the things are not developed so much. These are under processes. Some of the basic things as per the security is concerned. Like if you think about the previous day, like while we were used to say something to the Google Assistant, our voice was not recognized correctly. But nowadays, whatever you will be seeing, it will be recognizing very correctly. So that is the development in that part. Similarly, with time, the development will be going on. While we will be having enriched development or enriched like things in terms of the securities, those can be made automatic. But still, sorry, as far the security is concerned, nowadays even there are the lacks of securities. There are the concerns on the security part while considering the development of the smart homes. Correct? So, use of microcontrollers for interfacing to external circuits for authentication on app and website. LCD displays the real-time status of the device or the appliances. Sometimes you see, like, suppose for example, sometimes we see it like, suppose we are running a car, correct? We are driving a car. Say we have fixed the temperature of the car to be 25 degree, while the outside temperature is 40 degrees centigrade. So instantly the temperature will not be lowered down. That will not be lowered down. So initially it will be at high temperature, and like then it will go on reducing. Once the temperature reaches to 25, obviously the air conditioner should stop working till it becomes again more than 25 degrees centigrade. Correct? But sometimes we'll be seeing some displays up there only to make it more convenient, to make it confirm that yes, the temperature or something that has become correct. So that's why this LCD displays will also be used in that system in order to have more convenience in that part. So here I have taken some of the components. I have taken some of the like the typical examples in order to implement the IoT part on the home appliances. So the basic objectives are given over here. These are very straightforward. We have discussed some of these objectives before also. Appliances to be controlled by a smartphone application, that is the prime objective. Smartphone, it's a case study of type of thing, like a small type of like how to go through the track in order to implement that the IoT in that home appliances. Smartphone application acts as an interface between the mobile phone and the Wi-Fi module. Correct? Wi-Fi module. Suppose, for example, you are having a CCTV, correct, which is connected to your home Wi-Fi, and you are sitting at home, like at your office. You need to know what is going on outside your home. But sometimes while you'll be having small kids, which is kept with with a babysitter, so you want to see yes whether your baby is correctly being supervised or not. What to do? If there is some camera kept at your home, you are sitting at office, nobody is home except the babysitter. If you want to track the functions, obviously what you do, your camera, smart camera, those will be connected with the Wi-Fi of your home, and through your mobile you should have the provision in the app of the mobile app to access those camera via the Wi-Fi module. That is what it has been mentioned. It is just like that. It is not only about the camera. It may be some other electronic devices or electrical devices, maybe light. If you want to switch it off during the daytime, if you want to switch it on at the night time, you do accordingly by your mobile to using that Wi-Fi module of your home via some obviously applications, apps. So whatever the needs, you can cater those needs via this process. Air conditioner appliances are interfaced to the system using relay, which is controlled by Arduino. Arduino, it's the typical type of controller system. I'm showing some of the like Arduino systems. These are very important nowadays. Whenever you'll be recording that part, and these are very interesting things. Like if you need to create an Arduino, you can do it. Like these are easily available in the market for the different purposes, different Arduinos, and these are not so much costly. So you can think of things, start the work if you are interested to work in this field. You can start with that small thing. Suppose, for example, you are having like a device, say for example, the light system. So if you want to switch it off, switch it on remotely, you start with that one. Then the fan. Then you connect all these things. You can do it like step by step. ESP8266 is the low-cost Wi-Fi microchip. I have emphasized on that low cost. Correct? The cost factor is definitely an important part, and typically it becomes more important while we ask our BTech student to take over some project. There are some limitations in the budget. So based on that part, obviously we will be requiring to have the components of their project at low cost. So this ESP8266 is a low-cost Wi-Fi microchip with built-in TCP/IP networking software, so that you can interface, you can connect it with your laptop or mobile, and obviously it will having a microcontroller capability. So this ESP8266 that is used because of its Wi-Fi capability and Arduino IDE support. LCD display may be used to see the real-time status of the device. It obviously will be reducing the consumption of the energy that we have seen as per the examples are concerned, whatever the examples we have considered. Smart control system, to make a smart control system, to have the mobile phone, the control on the monitoring, like you can using the we will be having that system in such a way that a mobile phone can control and monitor the system and availability in 24/7. Correct? It is all about the software. Correct? You don't need any manual intervention. So obviously it should be accessed. You should get the access throughout the 24 hours, 7 days, anytime, anytime. Improve comfort. That is another important objectives. One of the important objectives as we have defined previously. Fully open source solution. Like another thing you have to keep in mind. This is very important. Fully open source solution. The solution, if it depends upon some typical like software, say for example, like being mechanical engineers, what we think, say we are going for some simulation. Correct? Say we need to simulate it ANSYS plane. So we have to purchase that ANSYS plane. We have to depend on that part. So these type of things should be avoided while making the home automated. We have to use the software which are open source. For using that open source options, open source code, we have to generate our own software. That will be much more convenient in order to modify it further as per our need in near future. Suppose you have put the things for a single light. Correct? If there are more floors which are being developed, which are being built in your home, so obviously you'll be having more appliances. So in that case, obviously the provision should be there to accommodate the other appliances at the same time without investing much more cost. If you go on using some more software for a long time, obviously the things will be difficult. Not only that, you will not be able to modify that software. Even if the software is modified with time, they may not provide you that updated software later on, even if you purchase the patented software. Like for example, if you purchase that ANSYS plan, if you do not go for that continuous like updation, obviously what you will be feeling like after 2 or 3 years, obviously whatever the ANSYS plan you had, that will remain. It will not be updated unless and until you pay for that. So those type of things should be avoided while uh, going for the development of the IoT based like home appliances or a smart home. About the functional overview of the different components, controlling and monitoring devices over the internet, that is one of the important functions you have to implement. Automatic light and camera on off by motion sensor, correct? So now we are reaching towards our goal, like step by step. So with the broad concept, now we have come in a position to understand that what type of sensors we are going to use in order to control the typical type of devices. Like for light and the camera, we can have the motion sensor. Even for the light, we can have the light sensors. Correct? Sometimes you'll be saying, say, I've seen it many places, like while you are sitting at your office, if you do not move, like if you remain there still for say 2 or 3 minutes, all the lights will be switched on. It's based on that motion sensor. It works based on the motion sensor. If somebody is inside the room, the lights it will be assuming yes, somebody is there, so I should keep the light. I should do. Even while you are sleeping, if the motion sensor that motion sensor works continuously, so what will happen? The light will automatically that will be switched on. If you just wave your hand towards the light or towards the sensor, obviously the light automatically switched on. Correct? And for the camera also. Correct? Motion sensor, like as I was talking about, if you have fixed one camera in front of your home or somewhere else, the recording will only be starting whenever there is motion of some particles, some object, or some human being, or some animal, whatever it may be. As long as the motion is there, as long as the absence of motion is there will be no recording. Only it will be based on the motion sensor. And these are not that much of costly. These are available very cheap. And you can take the Arduino, using the Arduino, you can put these sensors very easily, and these are very, very cheap. Even you can have it within few hundreds. Automatic light and camera on off by motion sensor. Main door open close detection by magnetic door sensor. Correct? Because you need to have more strength. Here, the mechanical power you will be requiring to close your door. Otherwise, anybody can come. Like they will be just giving a fist or giving a kick, the door will open. Obviously, you will not be wanting that one. So you need a magnetic door sensor, which can be controlled easily remotely. Unless and until it is magnetic, if it is the mechanical part, obviously it's not convenient to be controlled. So magnetic part is very important, because using that electricity, the magnetic field can be created, and we have seen these things during your lower secondary or maybe secondary level. Correct? So the main door, open or close, detected that detection by the magnetic door sensors. Correct? In I've seen in like US, most of the doors, the main door, those are big control using that magnetic field. Correct? So when somebody comes to their home, simply if they want them to enter into that premises, simply they just open the gate by pressing a switch, and that switch obviously activate, or I should say, yes, that deactivates the magnetic field, so that the gate will open automatically. Automatic AC on off by temperature sensor. That is very important. Like it also happens while being at home. You'll be seeing, if you fix the temperature of the air conditioner at 25, whenever the temperature outside is 40 degrees centigrade, the temperature will lower down, and when the temperature will become less than 25, automatically the compressor will stop. Then again, after some time, due to the heat losses, what will happen? The temperature will again become more than 25, maybe 26, maybe 27. It depends upon that type of air conditioner you are using. So when it will become 27, again the compressor will start. So the starting switch on and switch off of the air conditioner, that can be made automatic using the temperature sensor. You'll be having the temperature sensors like thermocouples which are connected to the Arduino system. The Arduino controller will be sensing those things, and as per your algorithm, it will do its work. It will complete, it will perform its work. Correct? Alarm when smoke detected by the smoke sensor. Alarm when your tank has been filled. You have started your pump to fill up the water, or you can also make the pump to start automatically. How? There may be two types of sensors. Correct? While the tank is being filled, the pump will stop automatically, and while the level of the water in the tank will lower down a prefix level, the pump may automatically start. That type of functions you may give automatically. So you have to do nothing for that. You have to you will forget about the starting and stopping the pump. You will continuously be getting the water unless and until there is a long power cut. Obviously, suppose for example the time at which the pump needs to start, obviously the power is not there. So obviously it's not possible for the system to start the pump. The pump will only be starting once the power comes. Correct? So alarms when smoke detected by the smoke sensors, you'll be seeing in nowadays in almost all the multiplex we'll be having this smoke sensors. Correct? Appliances, even the theaters will be having the smoke sensors. Then appliances control through mobile. Correct? That is very important. The monitoring and the controlling of the appliances through mobile phone, even big and remote places. So you'll be requiring that Wi-Fi module of your home, accessing that Wi-Fi module of the home through some mobile application, you can control those things sitting away from your home. Notification via email and SMS. Sometimes you'll be seeing if something unusual happening in front of you, and you have a smart camera attached at the front of your home, so it will continuously be giving you the alarm by sending the photograph sometimes, by sending the messages, whatever may be the ways, even it send emails to you because those are connected with the Wi-Fi of your system through which it can access the email. So it can send you the email, it can send you the SMS, it can even send you the pictures. If you have decided it to send, as per your desire, you have to fix those things in that controller part, and automatically the things will be ready. As per the circuit diagram, it's a very small typical examples I have shown over here. So this board, this blue part is the Arduino part. It will be having some input ports. You see there are many number of input ports. I have shown this picture with the use of some of the input ports. You see, so if I move from this cursor from this point to the left, there are other opening ports. You can also fix more number of devices along to this Arduino. So it will be having the different components. Say this is for the washing machine, this is for the fridge, this is for the light, this is for the camera, and we will be having this like that speaker. Correct? Sometimes being at home, suppose for example we have that provision in that in our home with the water tank. We just consider the water tank. So while it will be filled up, a beep sound may come, or some sound, some signal, or maybe some voice may come. Your tank has been filled. Please switch of the pump. That type of instruction may come. Here in that one, simply just switch it off. That type of thing may happen. Now the second thing is that there may be the other sensors also. Temperature sensor is there, motion sensor is there, door sensor is there. Correct? This motion sensor can be clubbed with the camera. It's not that you'll be having the motion sensor separate. It definitely will be integrated with the respective devices. Correct? It may be like integrated with the light. If the light is having motion sensors, it will be integrated with the camera. If the CCTV camera is having the motion sensor, the temperature sensor. Temperature sensor, as we have been talking about the air conditioner, in order to make the things automatic, obviously we have to have the temperature sensor attached to the air conditioner. I mean, the temperature sensors will be associated with those devices which are relevant to this part. Correct? Obviously, like for the light, we don't need to have the temperature sensors. Whatever the light nowadays we use, those emits very small amount of heat. So there is no chance to have high temperature under which that will break. Correct? So there is no need to put the temperature sensor to light. Door sensors, obviously for the door sensors, we are having that negative part, or like we may have that proximity type of sensors. The fans, correct? Obviously, we'll be having like, suppose for example, we want to reduce the, nowadays we'll be having those fans also, remote control fan. And in the remote control fan, you will be having the options also. Generally what happens, like during that summer season, while the time will go on, like the time moves on from 12 at night towards the like early morning, you will be seeing the temperature of the ambient that will go on lowering down. So at that early morning, you will be feeling cold. So what you do, you need to control the fan speed with time. So you can have that part also nowadays with those smart fans. With every 2 hours, if the fans initially is running at 6, at 6 point, at every 2 hours or every 1 hour, if you need to lower down the speed by 1 unit, or like from 6 to 5, 5 to 4, 4 to 3, like that, you can do it. So those type of things obviously will come only when you will be having this type of integration in that device. So the gas sensors obviously will be there. You have seen these gas sensors available everywhere. Correct? This is the connecting board. Correct? The circuit connecting board. So these are also easily available in the market, and these are not costly. Correct? Block diagram. If you want to understand that whole part, obviously this Arduino will be controlling each and everything: the fan, alarm, camera, light, then if they are this door sensor, temperature sensor, smoke sensor, motion sensor. And while this Arduino is controlling and it is storing the data, with whom it will be sharing the data? There are two things you have to keep in mind. One thing is that data should be controlled and monitored remotely. Say this is going on at your home and you are sitting at your office. You are having the mobile. Through mobile, if you want to access those data, one thing you have to keep in mind is that one data is in situ data, like what is going on in real time. And another thing is that if you want to see what has happened in past. For example, if you have a camera and you want to see what happened, who came to your home half an hour ago, or what happened from the morning, who are the people who came to your home. So you need to go in that the backside. So that can only be possible if you have the options of the storing of the data. How can you store those data? There are two ways. One way is that you can store it locally. I mean within the Arduino system, which can be accessed to your mobile using the Wi-Fi module of your home. That is one way. Another thing is that you can simply, whatever the data which are being collected, those can be directly sent to the cloud. And in that case, obviously, you have to purchase some part. In most of the cases, you have to purchase the memory in the cloud. So the data will be stored in the cloud and you can access from that cloud. There are two ways. So you can access that one via mobile application, or you can also access via online dashboard. Like you have a laptop, using that laptop, if that Arduino system that is being controlled by some software, obviously, you can have that software and you can control it via your laptop. So that is the thing. So this is is the a simple block diagram. You can go on adding more number of devices or home appliances which will subsequently be connected with the Arduino system, and whatever the data those will be collected by the Arduino system. This will be two way. You see here there are two arrow states are given. So it's not that Arduino will only be giving the data to the cloud or to the mobile application or to the online dashboard. It's not like that. At the same time, you will be instructing that Arduino as per your need. Suppose you want to start the light, you ask the Arduino to start the light, it will be starting switching on the light. You ask the Arduino to close the door, open the door, it will do that. You ask the Arduino to start the air conditioner as per the fixed temperature. You fix the temperature, you can ask the Arduino to fix the temperature as per your need. So these are the things what you have to keep in mind. These are very simple way in which you can look into this applications of IoT in home appliances. But while doing these things, while carrying out these things, obviously we'll be requiring some of the basic components. So I will make you acquainted with some of the basic components associated with this smart homes. So it is the Arduino data sheet, correct? So here I have given a typical Arduino pulse width module Arduino type of it's a very small. It's the cost is not that much of high. It may be of maybe 1,000 or 2,000 maximum, not 2,000. Even you will be getting within that in the range of plus minus 1,000. It has 14 digital input output pins, correct? So it depends upon the number of devices, appliances you have at your home. If you go for more number of devices, obviously you will be requiring more number of pins, of which 6 can be used as PWM outputs, that is the pulse width modulations. Like the output will be giving you some signal, and that signal has to be captured. For example, say we are measuring the temperature using the thermocouple. So the input of the thermocouple will be the volt. If we have a thermocouple bead, and that bead will produce a volt in micron, that will be microvolt, and that volt, that amount of volt, that will be sensed by that Arduino, and as per the pre-calibrated part, depending upon the type of thermocouple you are using, there are the pre-calibrated values of microvolt versus the temperature. As per that microvolt, it senses, the Arduino senses from that thermocouple, it will be giving you the temperature as the output, correct? So these type of things will be there. There may be some display also in addition connected with that output port. It has 6 analog input, by where a 16 megahertz crystal oscillator. Obviously it can be connected as the output. Output voltage is 5 volt, it's the signal volt, correct? And this, yes, somebody wants to say something. Then we'll be having this Ethernet cell, and this Arduino Ethernet. This is also part of the Arduino part. Arduino Ethernet cell, it allows an Arduino board to connect to the Ethernet. As I mentioned, it's not about the collecting of the data. At the same time, this data has to be fed to the mobile through the Wi-Fi module of your home. So the data which are being collected by that Arduino system, that has to be fed into the internet. So that connection obviously will be requiring an interface, and that interface will be obtained using this Ethernet cell. It is based on RichNet W5100 Ethernet chip. It's a typical type of things I've given over here, and there will be different LEDs, correct? So the different names of the LEDs are these are given as per the standard format: PWR, LINK, full. So this PWR is for that indicates board and shield are powered. It's for indication whether we'll be seeing while we start the television, we'll be seeing, or while we charge the mobile, sometimes you'll be seeing in the adapter there is a small light, it glows, correct? So depending upon that light which comes out, we It sometimes becomes, yes, the charge percentage is full or not. If it is red, it is charging. If it is green, obviously the charge is not. That type of thing, correct? So this gives us the indication of the different occurrences. So PWR LED, that will be indicating like board and seat are powered or not. So this type of the different type of LEDs there. The flashes when network collisions. So these LEDs, COL LEDs, they will be flashing when network collisions are detected. This type of things, like these are only for the indicators. Correct. Passive infrared motion sensors. There will be the motion sensors depending upon your applications, which will be attached with the camera or with the light as per the needs. Correct. So these are typical motion sensors. Again, I am saying the costs are not that much of high. You can search it in the net. These are available everywhere, even with the Amazon. So if you want to start with these things, there are several companies who, like mostly Chinese companies, who generally sell these things. Digital pulse high 3-volt trigger sensitivity range for this type of motion sensor is up to 20 feet or 6 meters. So it depends, like if say something is happening beyond that 20 feet, it will not be sensed. These are the things, even sometimes even these things, like you may put your range within which you want the recording if the motion is there. Suppose for example you put your camera in front of your home, it is a wide camera, correct? So wide zoom camera. So in that case, say it is covering, say for example 40 feet length of your home, but you do not need to capture what is going on in that 40 feet. You need to concentrate on the gate part of it. So that gate is consisting of say for 10 feet. So you can fix it using that software, using that controller. You can fix it. Yes, if something happens within that 10 feet, you should record. Otherwise, what is happening beyond that 10 feet, you forget. You should show it like in real time, real time or in situ, but you should not record it. That type of things may also happen depending upon you. You will be having the temperature sensors. These type of sensors are compatible with the Arduino, as well as you can have those typical type of like thermocouples. Depending upon the range of the temperature, you may have P-type, N-type like thermocouples are there, depending upon the ranges. Correct? You'll be having the magnetic door sensors, as well as if you definitely planning for the door to open and shut automatically as per your need, you can have this type. This is very simple thing, like this magnet. You like we all have studied right from our like secondary classes how to make magnetize the part, demagnetize the part using the electricity. The same thing, correct? This no circuit is connected when magnet is near the switch of this. Smoke sensors, it's also simple. You see how many components. These are very small components that are there. Only the indicators are there. These are the LED indicators, correct? And we'll be having the small components. It will be costing maybe 200 or 300 something like that, even less than that, correct? So the characteristics, what we expect from a smoke sensor is that it should be good sensitivity. It should have good sensitivity to combustible gases in wide range, correct? High sensitivity to LPG, propane and hydrogen. Long life and low cost, correct? So we can also have the sensor which is called as the gas sensor, correct? Sometimes what happens, like if there is some leakage of LPG, you may not get the proper indication. But if you have some sensor which can sense, yes, there are the gas sensors apart from the smoke sensors. Those can also be installed along with those. Along with that, it can be integrated even with the smoke sensors, correct? There is no such big thing to integrate that, but along with the smoke sensors. Long life and low cost, obviously, and there is another thing you have to keep in mind, it's the aging effect. It's not mentioned over here, it's the aging effect. With time, its sensitivity should not deteriorate. It should not deteriorate. it should remain same. Its sensitivity should not deteriorate with time. So the aging effect should not come over there. Applications: domestic gas leakage detector, industrial combustion gas detector, portable gas detector. So as per your need, you can have these things, these components attached to the different part of your plan in order to cater the needs. Another thing, this is another important part. IoT middleware. What is IoT middleware? Suppose, for example, you have decided to make your home appliances automated to be controlled from remote places. So what you do? Initially, you will make the design, you will plan for it, and then you will go for the implementation. But before going for the implementation, if there is something by which you can check it, you will be here. Then obviously it will be much more convenient to proceed. So as per the design, as per the plan you have made, if you have a software, it's just like the MATLAB. If someone of you have used that Simulink, MATLAB Simulink, what we did, we put the different components one after another, check it whether that circuit is working fine or not. These type of things can be used using the middleware. This is called as the middleware. Instead of like before going for the final implementation, as per the design, if you drag and drop the different IoT components in that software and connect it accordingly as per your plan, then if you run it, it will be showing it that what is the way or what are the ways in which you are going to get your result. So there are the free softwares like Gain. This is one of the free softwares. It is the world's first drag and drop IoT project builder. Correct? You have the different components, you attach it according to your plan, and obviously at the same time, what you would get? You would get the result. You can see what is going on, what would be like, what would be the final step before practical implementations. It helps to create IoT prototypes and then bring them to production. So before production, it is obviously good to have this type of, and moreover, this is free. This Ken software is totally free software. You can do it, check it. Ken was designed to work from iOS and Android smartphones and popular browsers. So you can do it using your smartphones, whether it's like Android or iPhone, it doesn't matter. Even you can use these things using the browsers. Like using all the three browsers, you can access these things like Chrome, like Mozilla, as well as that Internet Explorer. Ken is totally free, as I mentioned before. There are two components in the platform: Ken mobile application and Ken online dashboard. So it depends. Like you have to select it up, like whether you want to use it through mobile or online dashboard, like using the interface of your laptop. So the key advantages, what we have already discussed, most of the things, these are summarized over here. Saves powers, control home appliances from like it's not from, it's from anywhere in the world, even nowadays, anywhere, like beyond the world, like even sitting at like space, this can be controlled. Okay? Quick response, obviously, it depends upon the internet. You will receive you will receive an email or SMS for any activity. You not be depending upon your systems. You may receive an email. There obviously the provision is there to receive the emails or SMS for any activity. It helps for safety purposes, and the monitoring can be done for any time, 24/7. However, there are some major challenges which are discussed next. That is one of the major challenges is the burning of the audio. Correct? Who will take care of the audio? Audio. Audio is taking care of the everything, like all the devices. But who will take care of the audio? If there is certain like uncertainties which comes in the audio's component and it burns, then we'll take care of it. So this is one of the major problems which have been found typically in typically in the Arduinos which are being applied in the home automations. That is the burning of the Arduino. Correct? If any component burns, obviously the Arduino will not be working. Even if a small resistance doesn't work, it burns, obviously the Arduino will not be working. It's like the motherboard. Sometimes you'll be saying, like, sometimes you'll be saying that even using that while you're using your motherboard of computer, if something is some component is burnt or some components are damaged, so the motherboard will no longer be working. So you have to change that. Correct? So obviously, this is one of the major concerns, because if it stops working, obviously everything will be going like it will be beyond your control. And it's not like that you'll be having a backup Arduino for that part. Like in case of plane, if the one side there are two engines, so like if one side engines that stops working, the other side will start. But here it's not like that. There is no such backup. So this is one of the major concerns for the time. LCD connection, correct? While you will be doing manually, I'm not talking about the things which are being done automatically in the different industry. While you will be trying to do this experiment, to try to implement yourself. Suppose you want your BTech students to complete these things as their project, manager project. In that case, this obviously this LCD connection will be another major one of the major problems. Correct? That LCD will be having the ports very close to each other. So it's very difficult to connect the different ports, the wires connecting this LCD and the Arduino system. Correct? That is one of the challenges. To damage wires. Like it's not like you are in the experimental part, obviously the wire which are being used to connect the different components, like you see the wires. So there may be the damages. That is another concern, obviously, because the wires these are used to carry the data, carry the power. So if something breaks in between, obviously your system will stop working. Poor internet connection, obviously, being at India, like it is mostly in the third world countries, mostly internet always will not remain fast. Even nowadays, though there are the good internets, but if you move towards those remote places, sometimes and many times, not sometimes, many times you'll be facing these difficulties. It is very slow, right? So that's why you have to take care of that part also. Like there should be something else which should not interfere your important things while the internet becomes so good. Coding of temperature sensor, obviously that is one of the challenges. While you'll be doing so, you'll be facing that one also. Also the connection of door sensors. Like door sensors is very important because it also should take care of the strength of the the closing. Correct? It's not a simple sensor. There should be mechanical component associated with this part, so that it should not be open with a small fist or a small key or even high key. So that type of thing definitely you have to keep in mind. So that's the connection of door sensor. That is very important. Correct? And obviously this door is not a static part. It will be closed, open, closed, open. So obviously the vibration will come. So that is very important for the door sensors to be attached correctly. What are the lessons? We are almost in the last part. I will not take so much time. Maybe in another 5-6 minutes I will be finishing my presentation. So lessons to remember: making IoT based application, connecting different sensors, correct? Meeting deadlines and milestones as per the needs, coding and debugging, C program, mostly the C and C++ programs, these are being used to control that Arduino system. So definitely the coding and debugging can easily be done, and there are a lot of helps in net nowadays on the Arduino systems. Making a smart solution by connecting things to the internet. Self-study, obviously that is important. That you can do it using book, using internet. Problem solving as per the needs. Effective communication management. That obviously is very important. What is the type of things? What is the type of encryptions you are adopting? Those are very important things as per the security part is concerned. Cost management. Keep the project within the approved budget. Like approved budget means it's not that somebody is approving it. As per your approved, like say suppose you have planned the budget to be within 5,000, 10,000 or 12,000 or maybe 30,000. So the managing of the cost is very important and you can manage that one. If you do it yourself, you can manage. Risk and conflict management. So these are very essential things. Risk and conflict analysis of, I should say, analysis of risk and conflict management. Your things should not conflict in any way, and also the risks should be minimized based on that requirement. The risks should totally be like nullified. If the suppose for example there is a risk that your door may get open due to some error, so that risk should be zero. There shouldn't be such. There should not be any risk in that part. So it depends upon the part on which you are imposing an IoT. Scopes of works on IoT in smart home designs. Instead of all these things, what we have defined so far, we may have that fingerprint security systems. We may have that like it's called that near frequency type of signals that can be enabled for the door systems. Correct. So sometimes if you see you have a card, you put the card in the sensor part, the door will open. So that type of systems are still there. You can also implement that part. Powered by solar system, that is also important nowadays. Based on that, like requirement of the non-conventional sources of the power, you can think of using the solar system, which will be giving you the power in order to run these devices. Correct? Automatic cut-off between solar and the main power. Like it depends. Like in night, obviously you are not getting the solar, or like as per the needs, even for the cloudy days, you will not get the solar power. Connection to a smart parking system. That's what we started with which we started with, like that garage, data analytics. That is the appliance uses. Right? Depending upon that part, we will be analyzing the data. These are the references from where most of the slides those have been prepared. And thank you for listening with questions. Now, if you have any query, please let me know.
Thank you, Dr. Pranab, for a well-made presentation and nicely explained about almost all the like household, the importance of IoT or Industry 4.0 in the household appliances. Yeah, participants, if you have any doubt regarding anything, maybe you can clear off your doubts. I think Pranabda, you got some question in the chat. You can see that. Yes.
After the session, first assessment will be just
the last one. I think role of relays in home automations.
Okay, so the role of relays, definitely that is very important. Depending upon the needs of the various like devices. For example, let me just give you a very small example for that. Say you are having a food processing unit. Say let us consider, for example, let us consider that microwave. Correct? We want to cook the food in steps. We do not want the cook to be processed in a step. Sometimes, if you remember correctly, you will be seeing like we do not cook the things at a go. Sometimes some of the foods, for example, say we want to boil mutton. In that case, what we do, we simply put it inside the pressure cooker. We give one or two whistle. We allow it to the whistle to blow for 1 to 2 times. Then what we do, we keep it for the whole compressed steam to come out from there slowly. Then again we give another two whistles. So these are the physical part. So the relay, whether we have to put the relay or not, it will totally be depending upon that appliance. Whether it's the food processing unit or it is the unit which is being used for other purposes. Correct? So that's why this relay definitely this will become important, and definitely these are important in implementation of the IoT in different home appliances. It totally will be depending upon that functioning of the home appliance.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Vijay Chandra.
Yes.
Is my voice audible?
Yes.
Yeah, relay. I want to know about the different relays which will be used in the home automation. What type of relay we have to purchase and how we have to use it?
No, I don't.
Electric relay, so that the power
yes.
will be on and off.
Yes.
And
Yes.
one example you given at the starting that water tank, it will give buzzer.
Yes.
It filled off.
Yes.
Instead of that, if we use a relay, automatically it will switch off instead of giving a buzzer.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
that relay, like if you consider that water tank filling up, like it will be depending upon, you can put that relay only when the flow rate of the water will remain constant. Correct? In that case, the relay will be working in that way. But in case if you think about that water tank filling up, in that case, the relay will not be working
No,
continuously
we are
for years.
instead of using a buzzer at that place, instead of using a buzzer in the circuit at that place, if we use a relay and where the electric circuit will switch off automatically.
Yeah.
based on the
So
relay.
you want to use a timer for that part.
No timer, sir. Instead of
Relay. Yes.
instead of the buzzer,
Yes.
you explained with the buzzer
Okay.
example.
Okay.
Instead of the
Exactly.
buzzer, if we use a relay, it automatically switches off at that time. Is it not?
Yes, I got it. So that is possible. So definitely that type of components are there which can be attached, integrated with the Arduino system, and you can have it. I cannot name exactly right now the what type of relay will be suitable for this part, but if you search in the net or like in the website who sells these things, obviously you'll be getting this type of things.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much for your suggestions and nice lecture. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Is there any other questions, Dr. Ramakrishna?
Any questions from the audience? Please put it in front of Dr. Kundu. If you don't have any questions, means once again, thank you very much, Pranabda, for readily accepting our invitations, sharing your insights, and enlightening the participants with your knife and a lecture session. Yeah, thank you again.
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me, for giving me this chance to interact with the participants. So
Yeah.
thank you very much. So should I leave now?
Yeah, you may leave because we had to conduct the exam and we have some.
Okay, sure.
Please wait, Dada. So we can take a group picture along with you. So maybe after that you can leave.
Okay, fine.
My dear participants, all of you please open your camera. Satyanarayan sir, Kishore Reddy sir, Praveen Kumar ji. Nice to see you all, sir. Nice to see you all. So anyway, we are going to meet maybe on Monday. since this is the last session for online, we would like to see, and also we would like to take a group photo. Ramakrishna sir, is anybody open? Ramprasad sir? Sumant? Shravani madam? Yeah. Ramakrishna sir, you take the screenshot now. Most of them are open. Okay, thank you all. Thank you. Namaskar. And we will meet on Monday for offline sessions. Thank you. And now our fellow coordinator Dr. Ramakrishna will share the first the questions, that is online quiz. Later feedback form will be shared. Ramakrishna sir, first you share the questions in Google form.
You did not tell me to take, so I did not take.
Ramakrishna sir, are you there? Ramakrishna.
Questions. So we are giving 20 minutes of your time. Please just share the exam link. So it's in multiple choice questions, and it will be on testing your very much basic fundamentals only. No need to worry too much about it. It will be fun to enjoy, to answer the questions. Hope everyone could able to see the link, test link. So the time is 8:50 now. Maybe you have to conclude your exam by 9:20. We are giving you half an hour time.
Ramakrishna sir, also you can share feedback. Those who completed the exam, they can also fill the feedback.
Yes, okay. In this same meeting link, I'm even sharing the feedback link as well.
Yeah, please. ఒకసారి వాట్సాప్ చూసి క్వశ్చన్స్ అని ఆన్సర్స్ పెట్టాను. 15 పెట్టాను. ఇంకా
One thing I am saying that
Yeah, those who completed the exam and the feedback, they can leave. Thank you. Good night. We will meet on Monday at 9 a.m. Thank you.
ఎగ్జామ్ అయిపోయిన వాళ్ళు వెళ్ళిపోమని డాడీ రాట్లా పాకిస్తాన్స్ రాట్లేదు నిన్నగా చెప్పింది మా డాడీ